Hi learners, welcome back to DHILK. In this video, we are going to discuss about the naming of amines. Okay, these are the important organic compounds. So here we will discuss about the IUPAC naming and common naming systems for aliphatic and aromatic amines. So let's get started. So firstly, we can discuss about IUPAC naming of amines. Okay, so we know what are amines. Amines are the compounds which contain NH2 groups. So to an alkyl group, if NH2 is attached, these compounds are known as amines. So the functional group is NH2. And for this compound, according to IUPAC nomenclature of amines, the suffix used is amine. So the functional group and the suffix is also both of them are same, that is amine. So what is suffix? We have discussed in detail about the naming of organic compounds, all rules and basic concepts that you have to know about that. So if you guys didn't watch those videos, first go and watch those videos, then you will get more idea about naming of organic compounds. So the suffix used is amine. Then what we have to do? Before that, we can discuss what is suffix. We know the general formula for naming of a compound is prefix plus word root plus suffix. So word root is nothing but the number of carbon atoms. According to the number of carbon atoms in the chain, we have to choose a parent name. So for example, if it is one carbon atom, then the name is mate. For two carbon atoms, it is eighth. Like that, there is a names. So there is a word root. So after word root, what comes is a suffix. So it will represent the functional group. So here for amines, the suffix used is amine. Okay, that will come after the word root in the naming. Then what is the first rule? We have to choose the longest carbon chain attached to the nitrogen atom. In our compound, we have to select the longest carbon chain to which the nitrogen atom is attached. Okay. Then number the chain so that NH2 gets lowest number. In our compound, we can number the compound from two direction, from left to right and from right to left. And we have to choose the numbering in such a way that the NH2, the carbon attached to NH2 group, is getting the lowest number. Then you have to remove E from alkane before adding amine. So basically we can say alkane. Then from alkane, this is the word root. From alkane you have to remove this E. Then add amine. Okay, this is a IUPAC naming for amines. We can look an example. Then you will get more. Then you will be clear about it. Look at this CH3NH2. There is only one carbon atom. So word root is methine. The word root is methine. So what we have to do? We have to remove the E. Then add amine. Okay. Then what is the name of this compound? Methenamine. Methenamine. Okay. Now look at this. There are two carbon atoms. The word root is ethine. In ethane you have to remove the E and add amine. So ethenamine. Then there are three carbon atoms. So here you have to be careful about the position of carbon atom to which the nitrogen atom is attached. The carbon atom in the propane, this carbon atom and this carbon atom both are different. This is a primary carbon atom, this is a secondary carbon atom. So we have to mention the position to which the nitrogen atom is attached. So here the first carbon atom is attached to nitrogen. So we have to write like propan 1 amine. Okay. And in this compound, the second carbon atom is attached to the nitrogen. So the name will be propan 2 amine. Clear? So for example, look at this. I'm just elaborating the structure CH3, CH, NH2, CH3. So this is secondary carbon atom because the second carbon atom of the propane, the NH2 group is attached. In propan 1 amine, the first carbon atom NH2 group is attached. I hope this is clear. Now, one thing is that there are three types of amines: primary, secondary and tertiary amines. Primary amines means basically we can say amines are the derivatives of ammonia. From ammonia, if you replace the hydrogen atom by alkyl group, you will get the amine. So from ammonia, you just replaced one hydrogen atom by an alkyl group. Okay. Then you will get primary amine. There are two hydrogen atom and one carbon nitrogen bond, and if you replace one more hydrogen and replace by one more alkyl group, then you will get R2NH, one hydrogen atom and two alkyl group. And if you further replace one more hydrogen atom, what will you get? R3N. This is tertiary amines. So this is ammonia, this is primary amine, secondary amine and tertiary amine. So in tertiary amine there is no hydrogen atom. Okay. Now we have to check how can we name this primary, secondary and tertiary amines. We can discuss how can we do common naming for amines. So first step is that name alkyl group attached to the nitrogen atom and add the word amine. It's simple, right? First we have to mention the alkyl group name, then add the word amine. So if there are secondary and tertiary amines, then you have to use N before the naming. Means that if it is a secondary amine, then you have to use one N. If there is a tertiary amine, then you have to use N, then a bar. So this is the important point for naming of secondary and tertiary amines. Okay. So here we can see one example, so it will be more clear. So we know that this compound is methanamine, and according to common name, this is what is the common general formula for common naming? Alkyl amine. Okay, so here alkyl group is a methyl group, so that is methyl, then amine, so methyl amine. Now this is, there are two carbon atoms, the alkyl part is ethyl, so that is ethyl amine. Then to this compound, this is a secondary carbon atom, right? Secondary carbon atom, because there is only one hydrogen atom and two nitrogen carbon bond is there. This is a secondary amines. So for secondary amines in IUPAC naming, you have to use N-methyl methanamine. Means that methyl methanamine. You have to choose one nitrogen carbon bond as a substituent and the second one, the longest chain, as a part of the parent chain. For example, look at this. This is methyl. Both of them are methyl groups. So you can simply say methyl methanamine. So if this is a, instead of that, if you have this example CH3, NH, CH2, CH3, now what will be the name of this compound? N-methyl ethanamine. Okay, N-methyl ethanamine. This is how you can name secondary amines. Now we can look at the tertiary amines. There are three nitrogen carbon bond. There is no hydrogen atom, and you have to start with two nitrogen atom. N, then a bar. Then you have to name the rest of the compound according to the general formula, and you have to choose the two alkyl groups as the substituent and the longest chain as part of the parent chain. So for this one, since the three substituents are same, you can directly name dimethyl methanamine. Dimethyl methanamine. Okay, the first two methyl group corresponding to the substituent and the last one as part of the parent chain. In common naming for secondary and tertiary, you can choose the general formula alkylamine. Okay, you don't have to add any N. Clear? Now, aromatic amines. What are the rules for aromatic amines? For aromatic amines, NH2 is attached to the benzene ring, so the parent compound is known as aniline. So this benzene ring, to this a NH2 group is attached. This is a parent compound. This is known as aniline. So in IUPAC naming, either you can say benzamine, or we can simply say aniline. Okay, either benzenamine or aniline. Then we can see some other examples. To benzene ring, a CH3 group is attached at the ortho position of amines. Then structure is this. To a benzene ring, there is a NH2 group, and at the ortho position, this is the ortho position, right? 1, 2 position, 2 is the ortho position, a methyl group is attached. So we had to take aniline as the parent compound and CH3 group as a substituent. So you can name 2, at the second position there is a substituent, that is a methyl. So 2-methyl, then the rest. What is the rest? Benzenamine. Okay, 2-methyl benzenamine. Now for this compound at the para position there is a chlorine atom to the aniline. So that will be, para position is 1,4 position, right? So 4-chlorobenzenamine. So if you guys are confused with the positions or the meta-para terms, you can just go watch the previous videos. I mean, you will be done with these confusions. Okay, now we can see some examples. So first is this, we already know, propan-1-amine, then CH3CH, CH2, CH3. So look at this. You may think that this is a secondary carbon atom, but this is not a secondary carbon atom. Look at the number of hydrogen atom. This is 2 hydrogen atoms, right? So just only one nitrogen carbon bond is there. So this is a primary carbon atom. So you don't have to use the term N. So simply we can say the name is butane 2-amine because to the butane ring at the second carbon atom there is an NH2 group attached. So that is butane 2-amine. Then CH3, CH2, NH, CH3. There is only one hydrogen atom. So this is a secondary carbon atom. So you have to use N at the beginning. Okay. So and we have to take one CH3 group as the substituent and the other longest chain as the part of the parent compound. So N-methyl ethanamine. N-methyl ethanamine. And look at this. This is to nitrogen atom. There are 3 alkyl groups attached. There is no hydrogen atom. So this is a tertiary amine. So you have to start using NN dimethyl ethanamine. Okay, like that you can try to solve these problems also. We have already done this type of problems. Now we can just try to compare between the common name and IUPAC naming. For methanamine, in common naming it is methylamine. For ethanamine, in common naming it is ethylamine. It is generally following the alkyl amine term. Okay, N-methyl methanamine is known as, in common naming it is known as dimethyl amine. For tertiary, NN dimethyl methanamine it is trimethyl amine. Then for benzene amine it is aniline. Then for methyl benzene amine it is para-toluidine. Okay, that's all. Now you can try to solve these problems. Some of these problems we have already done, but for you to confirm that you have got these points, you can just try to solve this yourself. Name the following compound. Answers are here, but before come to these answers, you can just try to solve yourself, then compare with these answers. Okay, that's all about the naming of amines. So make sure you watch this video if needed, practice the concepts, get fully comfortable before moving on. If you are a class 11 or 12 NCERT student and want complete materials, notes, tapes, tricks or live classes, one-on-one sessions, visit our website or contact us through the number. Check the description box or comment section for more details. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.